Hey, what's up, everybody? Coach JR from Believe Elite Athletic Training. We are here today. The we is myself and Ryan Rodriguez. Ryan is senior year, Binghamton University, about to graduate via online.
Zoom style.
Yeah, Zoom style, great. And I'm here because we have a lot of time on our hands, and we want to give you guys some good stuff to listen to, and hopefully give you some things that will help you through all this chaos right now. Whether you're an elite level athlete, the 8th grader that's gearing up for high school, the pro athlete that is kind of stagnant right now, I feel like our podcasts and our topics really can touch and hit home with any of our athletes at any level. Ryan actually had an awesome idea, and I like the concept where he was going with this of building a team. So, building a team through the situation.
Yeah.
You don't have a teammate right now that you are sitting next to.
Yep.
You know, you have teammates. You know, you have people that you've connected with over the years and competed with that, yes, the definition of a teammate is right there. But you're not in a locker room anymore. You're not on a field. You're not on a course. You're not in a weight room with your teammates. And that's like it's like sad.
Yep.
It's like a sad thing to actually say out loud like that. You know, it's such a different vibe when you're with like your teammates, and you know there's a couple athletes on your team always, or you're one of them that like pushes the pace.
Yep.
You know, like I remember looking to my right or left when I played sports. You know, I played basketball, and I just remember like if I saw one of my teammates like sprinting harder than me, I was turning it up.
Yep.
You know, it's just natural. Like you get motivated by your teammates, and if you're a competitor, then you're just always compete mode.
Yep.
And that is not here. Now, I'll be honest with you. I tried to use social media to get athletes, especially Believe athletes, to post themselves working out because I really thought that it was gonna like get it going, you know. And some athletes started posting and showing their workouts, and I was tagging them and trying to go that route with it, and slowly came to a halt.
Yeah.
You know, I guess like the vibe is these home workouts are getting old. Okay. You know, so building a team is not as easy as it sounds, especially right now.
Yeah.
So what do you think is a good approach? Like, what would be step one to building a team?
Well, I think
You give yours, I'll give mine.
Yeah. For me, the first step is it's like you've got to find someone that matches the level of passion you have.
Yeah.
So I should preface. I should go out on a limb and say that building a team is something that takes years. Like
Yeah.
everyone,
The power team.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Everyone that you meet is not going to be beneficial in the long run, and you've
Absolutely.
got to learn who you let go and who you continue to go on the journey with. But,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. I think definitely finding someone that matches your passion.
I 100% agree with you, and when I asked you to go, in my head I was like-minded.
Yeah.
You got to find like-minded people. You got to be able to talk to them in a certain way where it's not like you can't get an excuse.
No.
If I call you and I'm like, yo, we got to go, like I need to work out, and you're like, yo, I'm in the middle of this show.
No, fuck.
All right, dude, bye.
Yeah.
You know? So like-minded, 100%. So you found your like-minded. Let's just go with one person right now.
Yeah.
Like so let's make that a little goal right now. Let's make a goal for our listeners to start to think about building their team, and let's just focus on one person right now.
So I know how I would personally go about this, and I've had this conversation with several people. The need to build a team is usually because that person has something that you lack. So the first step could definitely be to identify a weakness. You know, for me,
Okay.
for instance, right now I'm struggling from my athletic perspective of being able to move explosively, being able to move ballistically. So I had to go out and find someone that was golf specific and that trained ballistic and explosive movements. And now every time I find myself in the gym and I've got a question, rather than trying to figure that out on my own or going on to the internet, which can be used as a resource, but more often than not, can be used as a source of confusion.
A lot of stuff on there.
I literally call up my coach. And this is a philosophy that I've adopted from Kobe, rest in peace.
Mamba.
And I just finished reading his book, and he talked about how, down to the people that used to wrap his ankles before a game, it was all about, he was very curious about the process, and he was all about building that team and always asking questions, finding someone that you could just bounce a bunch of questions off of and share that passion. And I think that's really powerful, man.
That's awesome, and I love that you just referenced one of the best ever in the game, because I'm going to reference another one, and I'm going to tie what you just said into why you're 100% right.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan got his ass kicked by the Pistons in the playoffs, and when the season was over, he went and he found Tim Grover, and Tim Grover became his personal trainer for like 7 years.
Yeah.
And Jordan drastically changed his game. He changed his mindset. Grover wrote a book called Relentless.
Yep.
Like, you said call your coach. I love that. Call your coach. Like,
no texting.
You have, voice speaking and
So
talking
much
to
better.
someone, so much better. And that's funny you say that, because I had an athlete text me 2 days ago. And I love this kid. He's a different type of dude. Text me, he goes, "Hey coach, are you free to talk?" And I actually took a picture of that because no one texts me that. No one ever asks, like, "Yo coach, can we talk?" And like actually talk, like not like text it out. So I called him, and he just straight up said, he's like, yeah, he's a junior in high school, baseball player. This was a big year for him, about to get recruited. He's got some colleges he's talking to, so real life stuff. And he's like, yo, I'm in a funk.
Yeah.
Like, this sucks. Is basically what he just came out and said. And I was like, yo, I get it. And he's also one of my guys who, like, very routine.
Yeah.
He was my 5 o'clock in the morning guy.
Yeah.
He was actually a kid who sent me a picture of his push-up book, and he had 12,000 push-ups done.
That's awesome.
Like, that's the type of guy that was. So when he said, yo, can we talk? I was like, absolutely.
Yep.
But curious about the process and finding the right pieces to the game are huge. And, again, being a coach, sitting in the coach's chair, I would love to get calls from my athletes. I would love for athletes to say, yo, coach, I need you right now.
Yeah.
Because I need my athletes. Like, I genuinely, like, there's a hole right now. There's a void in my world because I'm so used to being in the facility, coaching and training and talking shop about goals and everything now. So it's like, you got to find the right people. The weaknesses thing, I mean, everybody's got weaknesses. Everybody's got something you can work on. You talked about specific stuff for you with golf.
Yeah.
That goes for any athlete or really any person.
Facet of life.
Yeah, 100%. I totally agree.
For example, real quick, I've been learning actually how to play guitar, and I went on YouTube and I'm looking up, and anyone who's getting into music, it's very intense to learn the theory on yourself. The first thing that the guy said is, the best way to learn is A, to get a teacher, obviously, or B, to just find someone to collaborate. So yesterday, 12:30 in the morning, I FaceTimed one of my teammates who happens to play the guitar, and we were just side by side discussing, the fretboard and just different types of music theory. And I instantly realized, like, man, I can take this and move that to all facets of my life, especially my athletics.
Yeah.
If I want to get better at golf, if I want to get better at eating, you've got to, the bigger the team that you build and they have to be expert-minded, like-minded individuals.
Yeah.
The more powerful you're going to be. You're combining brain power. That's the most dangerous thing you can do.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. And again, like when you talk about like pros at the top elite level, like every one of them has a team.
Yeah.
And again, like there's no difference though. Like I remember, and it's funny, like now we're talking about it, my teammates in high school, we were a really motivated group of guys.
Yeah.
And when I wrote my new ebook, The Unbeatable Mindset, one of my boys is an English teacher. And I was like, yo, dude, I need you to proofread this.
Absolutely.
And what he did was he actually like graded my paper, which I was like, shit, like, because things have gone Things are completely different from when I was in school.
Yeah.
So he actually said, yo, go find this site, log in, and he graded my paper with like voice recording comments. I was like, holy cow, dude, this is wild. But he took the time.
Yeah.
And that's I think the other, and then probably the next thing we should talk about is, I guess, find a member of your team that is willing to help. You know,
Don't be afraid to ask.
right. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to show a little vulnerability.
Yeah.
But find the person that's gonna
Maybe
be open to that.
You asked me what the first step was. We said identify weakness. We said like-minded individuals. The first step is drop your ego.
Oof, that dude, oi, that was good. That's the amount of egos that I personally have to deal with the adult world.
Yep.
I'm not going to get into different people's, but listen, I know fitness, and I've studied it, and I've gotten to a level where I feel pretty confident saying that I know my stuff.
Yep.
When it comes to mindset, I'm studying right now to be a certified mental performance coach.
Yep.
I'm taking my time right now to study and grow.
Yep.
So when I do finish my certification, which is in the next 5 days, and my ebook comes out, I will be an author of a mental performance manual.
Yep.
And I can sit back and say, I can coach this.
Yep.
If you don't know what you're talking about, or you're not engaged in the topic at hand, or you're trying to find somebody and you know that they're not, then I think you're kind of spinning your wheels and wasting your time.
The problem is if you're not comfortable saying that there's people better than me and I'm not good enough, that means that you're not comfortable with getting better.
Yeah, and right off of that, I actually went to a fitness seminar one time, and they said, if you think you're the smartest person in the room right now, this probably isn't for you.
Yeah.
So yes, drop the ego is huge, and unique time right now, and unique but like cool opportunity. You could start to reach out to people that you either compete against or people that you look up to via social media and virtual world.
It's the greatest time to be alive right now. We've got all the resources that we're ever going to have.
So many, dude. I mean, technology right now literally is king. And that's the thing.
You just gotta use it.
You got to use it the right way.
It comes with more distractions, but you have to use it the right way.
Right. So I think if you're building your team, let's stay with the social media world. What do you think is the best social media platform to actually connect with a team member, or someone that you're like, I gotta listen. I gotta get with that person.
Yeah, I mean, personally speaking, what I've been finding that's been helping, and this isn't a social media platform, but FaceTime. I like to see the person's face. I like to see their reactions.
That's awesome.
And I like to conversate back and forth. I've moved all my daily text messages, like if I've got to talk to my girlfriend or any of my coaches, straight to FaceTime. If I got a question for golf, rather than text, well, what should it be? I just get on FaceTime and we say, hey, this is what I'm doing. Man, I would change your ball position, etc. And we can make adjustments like that. I mean, FaceTime's the next step away from FaceTime is being there in person. So,
dude. So this is why this is great to talk about this stuff, because I'm building a team.
yeah.
Now that I have all this time on my hands and I had to close shop because I'm non-essential, I started to just delve into self-investment and self-development. And then I sat back and I was like, I want to get a business mentor. Like, I want a business coach. I feel like that is a weakness of mine. So everything we're talking about relates to me. And again, I'm a 36-year-old guy with a business, so it could definitely relate to anybody.
My problem is I want to learn about everything.
It's not a bad problem, but again, like you said before, sometimes the internet has too much out there. So finding the right people. So I went out of my way. I did a little research, and not for nothing, not gonna lie, $5,000, $7,000. I was like, I can't spend that money right now on that. So I reached out to a close friend of mine who was actually a former teacher of mine when I was younger, and this guy's been amazing in the evolution of Believe Elite. Literally, I used to have conversations with him when I was in my garage. So he's been a part of this and seen it grow and also supported it.
Yeah.
So when I approached him, I said, dude, I want a business coach. I want a business mentor. Would you be interested in helping me and doing this with me? And I said, I'll pay you, like I laid it out for him. I was like, some of these dudes are really expensive and I don't even know them, So he's like, this is what he said to me, straight up. He goes, yo, this has been like a dream of mine to actually do this with someone.
Imagine you never texted him.
Yeah, and that's exactly
Or
how I felt.
imagine you thought, like, man, I'm not going to text him because he's going to think this is stupid.
Yeah, and exactly, like the fear. And you said drop the ego.
Bullshit, yeah.
Drop the ego, drop the fear. Stop thinking like your questions are bad. Stop thinking like you're weak if you ask for help.
Think of it in terms of this. Whatever you're an expert at, like, for me, it's golf. For you, it's fitness. Would you be upset if someone showed passion and asked you questions about your level of expertise in a certain area?
Absolutely
I
not.
would be
You love it.
so excited to teach somebody golf.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I might take you up on that because I suck at golf.
Let's go.
But seriously, though, like, you're right. Like, when an athlete messages me or like, comes in and they're like, yo, coach, I want to do an internship and I'm studying kinesiology and I'm studying fitness. Like, I'm like, yeah. Like, that's great. And come in and let's work and you can learn from me. You can ask me questions. So, yeah, man, when I got off the call with him, I was like, this is awesome. I swear to you, our first 1 hour call, I got on regular phone call. He's like, let's get on like a FaceTime. I don't FaceTime. Like, I actually like thought it was weird until I did it with him. And I was like, this is actually cool. Yeah. I like the idea of being able to see someone. And then within an hour, my project of the Unbeatable Mindset mental performance guide turned into like a project that went from like just a book to a project that went to make it a course, make it a classroom setting, and do this, and this. Dude, it was an hour.
How long do you think that would have took for you to arrive at that point had you had not reached out? How much time do you think you saved in your world by reaching out to this guy and getting that perspective? If you would have ever figured out to do what he told you.
I don't know if I would have figured it out. I don't know if I would have even thought about it.
5-10 years down the road. But because you picked up the phone and you were man enough to say, hey man, like, I have a business, like I have a successful business, but I still know that there's things out there I don't know, and I know there's places I can improve. Yeah. And you said, help me improve?
No, yeah, it was...
Doesn't always work out like that, though.
It does not at all, and that's why I'm super grateful and lucky to have this guy as a team member now. Like, he literally is a team member for me. And the way that evolved, and you just, like you said it, like, how long do you think it would have taken me? One, I have no clue. I might not have ever come to that. But here's why this is so important, and I'm glad you asked me that. I found my business mentor. I got on the phone with him. I was working on a project. He made my project level up. Yep. He made my project, and when I say level up, hear me when I say this. My first goal was to just create a book and get it out for sales. That was it. And then he turned it into make it a course and offer it to groups and offer it to one-on-one. Understand that idea just went from helping a few people to potentially helping thousands of people. And I say that because yesterday I spent an hour and a half emailing 200 coaches, athletic directors, and people in the network that I've created to get that unbeatable mindset out and offer it to teams and programs and organizations right now because of the unique situation we're in. And when I do get word back from coaches and teams and schools buy into it, it was a phone call. It was a phone call, and it was an idea from somebody else that got me fired up.
I just got to say something. If you're struggling with something right now, weight, athleticism, I don't know, studying, schoolwork, anything, gardening, doesn't matter. Just find someone, get part of a group, contact a mentor. Like, this is foolproof. This is the way it's been from me researching John Wooden or, way back in the ancient history. There's always a passing of a torch. There's always the master and the student. That goes back way before we were ever writing about history. Go find your master. Don't say it like that, but
yeah, that's weird.
Go find someone that's going to be able to just show you the world that you can't see yet because you don't have the skill sets.
And here I'll end this convo with this. Ryan's dad researched me.
Yep.
Before he ever signed up.
Yep.
And we sat down and we talked. And we figured out if it was the right fit for him when he was in high school. And I think within the first week of me and you working together, once we started to connect, it was, you should look into this book. And you're like, I gave you that book, Train to Win. And you read that book in like a day.
I think 10
I actually
hours.
remember I was like, this kid's whacked.
Yeah.
You read that in a day. But again, if you guys didn't do your research, if you didn't make the call, I'm going to go back to your phrase, call a coach.
Yeah.
Get a coach, get someone involved. I literally just got a coach for myself, so it's a guide, It's someone that's going to think a little different than you,
Yep.
but it's going to make your thoughts and your process better and stronger.
It's awesome, man.
This has been cool. Me and you we could talk for days. So appreciate everybody listening. Think about this stuff that we're talking about. Build your team. Start with one stone at a time, and just pick some strong stones and reach out to people that actually care. Do some research and figure things out. This is a great time to build a team, and I honestly feel like a lot of people need a team right now. We are a team right over here at Believe Elite Athletic Training. Follow us on Instagram, Believe Elite Training, Facebook, Believe Elite Athletic Training, Twitter, @JRTrainedBeat, website, BelieveYouAreElite.com. Amazon book will be out soon. Unbeatable Mindset Manual, Workbook, Guidebook, whatever you want to call it. It's an interactive guidebook, and you're going to create your team when you invest in this because I'm part of that team. Let's go to work, let's stay focused, and let's become unbeatable. Thank you for listening. Talk to you guys soon.